Alright, y'all. I promised you this week's episode was going to be funnier, and I intend to deliver on that promise. Hey y'all, Cornelius here, and I don't know about you, but I've noticed in myself that I tend to be underprepared for things that should be obvious. Whether it be you forgot to bring something that you knew you were going to need, or you knew you're supposed to do something before you do something else and you forget to do that first thing. All three of which I'm going to talk about. My first story is simple. This is the second time I have shot this video. Last night I shot it. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to reset my camera. You see, last Saturday I was working on a film shoot with some friends, and so we literally had to change every setting in my camera, from the frame rate to the aperture, ISO, everything. And idiot me forgot to set it all back to the way it was supposed to be. So yeah, yesterday's footage was shot at 24 frames per second, and I shoot everything in 30, and I don't even think my software can handle 24 frames a second. And my camera was set to manual focus for the shoot yesterday, because if you've got a person running the camera, manual focus does tend to look better. But if you're doing a solo project like what I'm doing now, like seriously, I'm the only person in the building at this point, you gotta have autofocus. So yeah, yesterday's footage was blurry and it would have looked weird. And I had to delete all of it. That was like 15 minutes of footage. Why didn't I think to change everything? I knew I needed to change it. Why didn't I? I don't know. But at least that didn't run the risk of hurting anyone. My second story could have. A while back, I was heading back to Illinois to visit my family, and it's about a 4.5 hour drive, right? The day before I was supposed to leave, I blew a flat on my car. Like, really bad flat. Like, I had to replace the rim and everything. Got the wheel replaced, got the new tire, everything was set. Nothing was really wrong. I'd driven it a little bit around town, so I thought everything was good. So I took off. I didn't have a problem until I got to I-80. For those of you who don't know, I-80 is a really busy road in the Chicago area. And that is not a place where you want to have car problems. I thought something might have been a little bit wrong when all of a sudden that brand new wheel right behind me was sounding more like a Harley Davidson than a Ford Taurus. Pulled off to the side of the road, and turns out the problem was when we got the new wheel, they neglected to inform us that it was supposed to be tightened to 100 pounds instead of whatever the usual amount of torque you need to put on one of those is. Yeah. It was written, they just didn't tell us, and you know how guys are about written instructions. We tend to forget they exist. But hilariously enough, that's not the problem. The problem was, after I figured out what was wrong and I went to fix it, I figured out that I didn't have a tire wrench in my car. A tire wrench. Simple tool. No car should be without a tire wrench. Mine was. Dude, I'm driving a car that is old enough to vote, and I don't have a tire wrench? Heck, I should have a spare car in the back of my car in case my car breaks. But yeah, got that figured out, got a new tire wrench at an AutoZone that is now in my car, and will stay there forever. Ended up getting home safely, my dad helped me fix my car. It's all good now. Nobody got hurt, easily could have though, because people tend to drive the name of the road rather than the speed limit there. And that would not be a good time to lose a wheel. Now this one, it kind of makes sense because no one ever thinks to check for something that obvious. You know, when you're getting ready to go on a long trip, you're like, okay, I need to check my gas. I might want to end up checking my oil, which is another thing that I never think about even though I should. You know, you think about snacks, water, all that stuff. You don't think, do I have a tire wrench? No, it's ingrained in your brain. You think that one is so obvious. You should know there will be a tire wrench in your car. That should not be a thing you think about. You just assume it's there. And then the one time it's not. However, there are other times when it's a thing that you should double check. You know you should double check and you just don't, and it backfires. Which leads into story number 3. So last Sunday, I was playing guitar at my church, and it was a blast. I loved it. But right before the first song, and by right before, I mean, I think some of the band members had started playing the first note of the first bar of the first song. That is how early on in the worship service this happened. I was up there, I was ready to go, and then all of a sudden, bong! There goes my E string. Now, any guitarist will tell you, never, ever, ever go to a show without spare strings. I know this. I never, ever, ever go to a show without spare strings. Except for some reason, last Sunday, I went to the worship service without spare strings. And, you know, this is an easy thing to miss. I mean, you know, you might think this is just a thing that somebody who's slightly obsessed with guitars might know, and clearly it's definitely not a description of me. The crazy part is that's not actually my whole collection. There are actually a couple of basses that didn't make it in frame. Now, when you're at a church like ours, you've got 2 services, and this happened right before the first service, meaning I knew I had a whole nother service that I had to do, and I only had 5 strings. And guitars are supposed to have 6. So right after the worship service, I ducked out and grabbed my phone, called my girlfriend. Hey, yeah, you know where I keep my strings in my desk? Yeah, I broke a string and I didn't bring a spare set with me. Would you mind bringing me a set of strings? Thankfully she did, and I had just barely enough time to change out the strings before second service. And by just barely enough time, I mean I was literally sitting on the side of the stage, winding that string for all I was worth. And I didn't have a peg winder, so it was literally all manually, like, turning. So the moral of these stories? Simple. Double check your camera, bring spare strings, and keep a spare car in the back of your car in case your car breaks. Hey y'all, if you like this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Real quick announcement. This video marks the end of Season 1 of Wombatic Wednesdays. For those of you who have seen every episode, thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm really, really happy that I was able to actually pull this off. The whole point of this season of Wombatic Wednesdays was for me to test my ability to make a daily series for a short period of time. I don't want to just keep on doing I don't want to just keep on doing daily videos forever. So hello? Either you got the wrong number or you are the worst scam artist ever, because my car was made in the 90s and I got it from my parents who got it from my mom's parents. So there's no way there's a dealer warranty on that. Sorry. I am so glad I got that on camera. Hi, we're from the dealership and we're calling about your vehicle's warranty. It has expired. Do you want to renew your warranty? When I said my car is old enough to vote, I literally mean it was made in 1999. It's old enough to vote. So yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. I don't want to make these daily videos all the time because, you know, I've seen what that does to YouTubers. It'll burn them out. Plus, that's a really hard schedule to try to keep up. But I did want to try doing a daily video for a short period of time. My goal was 12 episodes, and if you'll note, if you look right there, relatively, it'll say episode 12. So I completed my goal. I'm now going to take a few months off, just like I did between the early year and season 1, and I'm going to try to do, some sort of more skill requiring video, something that'll really test me as a filmmaker rather than just me talking into a camera, which is all right, but to be completely honest, Wombatic Wednesdays isn't exactly what I want to do. But I don't have people in my near vicinity that I can just go out and shoot videos with. So I'm kind of stuck with this. You might ask why I'm still doing it in that case, and the answer is simple. I like doing things on a regular basis like this because it's proving, not so much to you guys, but it's proving to myself that I can release these videos on this deadline and not miss any videos. And as of yet, I have never missed a scheduled upload. And I'm really proud of that, and I intend to keep it up. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I'll try not to go completely dry on... Oh, hey, Dory. Dory, look up, look up. Apparently, YouTubers with cute animals get more views. It's not my cute animal, and it's not really tiny, but hey, look, there's an animal in one of my videos. Just barely. That's good, right? So yeah, I'm not going to go completely dry this time. Like, I'm not going to go the entire length between season 1 and season 2 without posting anything. There's already 2 videos I'd like to make. I'm only going to guarantee one of them. But I intend to be releasing at least 1 or 2 videos between now and season 2. When I get a date picked out for season 2 to start, I will send another little teaser, kind of like what I did for season 1. Alright, until the next video. Thanks, y'all.